What's going on, guys? Today I'm excited. Today we got a lot of things going on. Today I was into Hustlers Kung Fu and I was started working on holding companies, operating companies, trust, and man, let me tell you, have you ever gone into a basement, an attic, or garage and start rooting around and start finding all kinds of things that you haven't seen in forever? That was the experience today because this is what happened. And let me go ahead and show y'all what I've done. Yes, we're cooking with gas. Let's go with, because this is some stuff that if I had been on top of my game, I would have done it a long time ago. But here is where it went. I've set up, this is Disruptive Mail. I've set up Fat Cat Secrets, parental contracts, and LLCs, how to fight child support. Now, well, let me just go ahead and show you how much stuff I got done today. You know, I put in, I'm not a lawyer. I just been through this stuff and I'll guide you. I'll be your Sherper. You got served what to do. As I was talking to the fellows at Disruptive Mail, this is where a lot of men actually start getting into trouble. They'll get served and they don't know, and they'll freak out because it's like, man, this ain't never happened to me before. Oh my God. And then they become paralyzed by fear. That's the worst thing you can do. So just to briefly show you how much training is here, it's a lot. It's gonna take you hours to get through this course because what it teaches you is how to fight child support and how to protect your future with an LLC. Because I had to separate all that. So this is over here. And it took me all day to do that. And the best way to get that is I got a special Game 105 First Steps bundles that includes that course, includes, I'm going to be updating this, and I'm going to be updating this, and there will be some more. So that's I've been working on that since 7 o'clock this morning, and it's like, 7 o'clock this evening. So I've been putting that together because I'm separating the training because, getting in there, I was just like, good Lord, I didn't realize this was here. So one of the things that we're going to do, and we're going to go to B School for Hustlers, is I'm going to do this. Oh, and I needed to add something. Whoa, let me just go back up here. I'm just doing this in real time while I'm thinking about it because I've come up with another thing, and this isn't done, but all right, make sure that is there because we're about to get into a lot of training, a ton of training. So now this is the digital education, how to make money online, which will include, and the reason that it is $1,600 until the end of the year is it's going to include the strategic holding company, how to set up and deploy. Let me just go ahead and let you know what's here. The Broke Hustlers work here. The Art of Holding. I will be working on this tomorrow because once I got into that course, and this is going to be It's going to look like that last course because this is the only thing that's left, fellas, my dudes. This is the only thing that is left for you to transcend social classes. This is it. And what we're going to get into is holding company. I'm going to explain and teach everything in the course that many of you have been asking me in these live streams. And we're going to get very specific because tomorrow that's going to look very different when I move all of the art of holding to the strategic holding company, how to set up and deploy. Now, what I mean about the strategic, and also we're going to be having business classes. And I guess I need to explain that. Let's see. Where is it? It should be part of that. Business classes. I'm going to tell you how, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to sit you down and I'm going to pour in your head how to be successful with your business, because the holding company, operating company structure is very, very powerful. It's very, very powerful. And properly deployed, it will change your life. Because this is the United States of America. And we operate on the rule of law. And we operate on written language. And we operate on, because the rule of law is everything. Like, I was putting together the child support, how to fight your child support case. And, the reason most dudes freak out is they get served and they've never been through any of this stuff before. And they just paralyzed with fear. And that's the worst thing that can happen. And with this business thing, you should be focusing on how to make money. I got a comment on the last video talking I was a little sour about Omni and the Hellcat. And I did a little research on that today while I was waiting for some videos. The governments across the world are shutting down these IPTV services for copyright infringement. They're using other people's content and not paying them. And, because once again, this is the classic, because, I got a question for people out there. The Internal Revenue Service, and it's just part of what he's going through. They literally shut down his streaming service for copyright violations, and the tax thing was added on. And people, it's like, hey, he blew up in tech. Napster blew up in tech. Look what happened to Napster. You can't take somebody else's copyright material and make money on it. You can't do that, which explains why he was making so much money. And also, I watched the video where he talked about this YouTube thing is my only source of income. Now, if Omni and the Hellcat had hooked up with me, I guarantee you he wouldn't have lost. Because see, one of the big problems he had, everything was in his name. All the cars were in his name. Well, apparently some of the houses, because he still got a house. So if he still got the house and they seized everything, the house was never in his name. I want you to understand this because, there's a bunch of people, he's a charming, he's a funny guy, but business-wise, he did something that made a lot of money, but business-wise, he dumb as bricks. And I know that's going to offend a lot of his fans, but he dumb. Because if he had a holding company, an operating company, and other members of his organization, and he had spread that money out, they wouldn't have been able, because they would have came after all of them, perhaps, Or also they're getting him on money laundering. Because one of the things that they do when you get money from an illegal business, and that's one of the charges he's got, this is how they seize everything because you cannot profit from an illegal business. And one of the things that I want to do is to go ahead and educate people on how to set up a business and how to protect your assets. This house ain't in my name. It's in a corporate name. My X5. Hey, Jason, pretty much. The X5, it ain't in my name. And you know what's funny? Other than the time where I did something wrong and I got pulled over, I've not been pulled over in that X5 since I've had it. I did not mention any amounts for setting up your holding company. That's right. Own nothing, control everything. He did not have layers between him. But, once again, that comment kind of bothered me because this guy's channel was completely built on stunting. I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. Folks flock to it. But he's a young guy. And I got to understand that people like to see younger folks come up. And if you old fogey, Glendon Cameron, you supposed to have been okay. But people just want to be flashy. Hey, like once again, I did some research on that. They're shutting these IPTV sites down. Please tell me tomorrow I will be building that out at B School for Hustlers. And let's go ahead, because I had a few people who bought last night, and I've already added all the stuff. Because essentially the reason it's 1,600 is you're going to get the art of holding, which I'm now calling, whoa, I don't know why that happens, where it actually just gets so big, which is called a strategic holding company, how to set up and deploy. And I'm going to put some more courses in there because I will be doing that tomorrow. And essentially, this is so powerful once you deploy it. If Omni and the Hellcat had this set up, he wouldn't have lost all his stuff. Prime example. We all know who Bernie Madoff is, right? Biggest Ponzi scheme in history. His kids and his wife had millions of dollars that wasn't seized. They couldn't connect that money to the money that came out of the company, so they got to keep it. Google it. Bernie Madoff kids, they still got money. The wife still got money. Largest Ponzi scheme in America. So what we're going to talk about with this education is how you, where you are, can start setting this stuff up. Now, also, one of the things I put in an email I was talking about the B School for Hustlers, is this is a 2 to 3 year process. Let me be fundamentally unvarnished. Let me be transparent. You're not going to start this process and make 6 or 7 figures in 3 months. I know the internet's telling you this. There's these ads. They got Big Booty Betty. It ain't, no, you're going to get on a journey. Because with my situation, that was done years in advance. And when I needed it to protect me today, it did. I was protected. And this is one of the things that we're going to talk about with business classes, because what I'm going to do is put the art of holding and move all that over to the strategic hustling company and make some changes. I plan on working on it for 2 or 3 days. That's what I'm doing this week. If you join B School for Hustlers, I want you to go through the money management course 3 times. Do that immediately. Go through the money management course. That's going to take you a few weeks. So while I'm going ahead and putting together the art of holding, and we're going to talk about holding companies, we're going to talk about how to turn a regular LLC into a holding company. That's part of the course. All these questions that so many people have had questions about will be answered. Another thing that we're going to do is we're going to have business classes, because this has always been my thing, because there are many people who will teach you how to put together your holding company, your operating company, but they won't teach you how to make money with that system. I will teach you how to make money with that system. Hence the 2 to 3 years, because there's some of you already have businesses. You're already out there slaying dragons, making your money. And there's some of you who are going to come into this and you've never done anything. You've got a good job and that's it. You got a good job, some excess cash flow, and that allows you to get in the course. You, my friends, are going to be looking at the 2 to 3 years. First, we got to get it started. Then the most important thing about business growth is customers. It's not your widget. It's not your service. It's the people who will buy your service. Those are the most important people. And there's been not a lot of emphasis on that. Like, I'll get this widget from Alibaba for $1.50, then I'll slap it on Amazon. What if people on Amazon are not buying that widget? They don't really care about that widget. One of the things that's really interesting, and one of the things that I want to set up and begin to build, is a community of people who are actually doing something. Junie, consistency, and we're going to talk about that, because the last few weeks have been really consistent and my sales have gone up because I've been working on things that make money. So Junie, what you got to do, and this is going to be a class talking about working on the things that make money, you're going to have to isolate what activity in your business makes you money. I'll give you an example. When I was in the storage auction business, listing on eBay made us money. Not just listing 1 or 2 things, but the more we listed, the more money that we made. And it's about being consistent, because Monday through Friday, we were listing, and our goal was 100 items per day. So that was 500 items per week. It was 2,000 items per month. And once you get your numbers, because see, this is the thing, because when you start from nothing, when you start from scratch, you don't have any numbers. You have nothing to go off of. So you've got to build your data set. That's one of the hardest things that people don't understand. Since you're just starting, you got to build your data set. And putting together your data set is going to take time and effort. And we're going to talk about, like, one of the things I used to look at was our monthly sales numbers. And I would look at, then the next year, I would look at our numbers for the same time frame. And if the numbers went up, bet. But if they went down, well, once again, we're going to get into the trust. When you set up the trust, it's in your name, and your children are the beneficiaries. So we're going to get into all of that language. But before we get there, we got to have some assets to put into the trust. A seasoned company, some real estate. Because, everybody talks about, like, trust. I want to put up a trust. What are you going to put in the trust? What are you going to put into the trust? And we're going to get into that, because you'll hear what I call partial information on the internet. I have a trust, and they don't explain it to you. Like, once again, I said this house I rent out to my company, and I be very clear, you can't do that because I didn't put out that information. I did not put that information, so don't go out there and half do it and get yourself in trouble. There is a specific sequence of events that must take place before you can do that. And I'm going to charge for that information because it's so powerful. I'm not just going to give it away and have a whole bunch of people mess up the game. No, 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 no. So one of the things we're going to get into with these business classes, because I'm going to work on that tomorrow as well, because there could be as many as 20 of them. And there would be chats and training sessions, because the business classes will probably be webinars where you can ask questions. And then once that webinar is done, then the webinar will go into the curriculum. Because, once again, I want you guys to understand, I want you to build stable, cash producing business models. You want to, it could be a laundromat, it could be a car wash, it could be a cleaning service, whatever it is. I want you guys to be making some cash, because a lot of this stuff on the internet, because this is one of the craziest conversations I got onto the internet, and it was talking about Amazon FBA, and people were talking about, because of the massive selling power that they can operate on these razor thin margins of 5%, 2%, 1%. And a lot of those people, they're not really talking smackety smack on the internet anymore. I look for them and they don't have nothing to say. And I look at their personal Facebook pages. One dude's living in a trailer. Yes, he's living in a trailer. And he was one of the biggest ones talking about living. Because see, I had a business education. And the business education is, as long as you're in business, like January 12th, 2017, January 12th, 2018, your business wants to make more money. That's called growth. That's called scaling. And, many people out here are looking at how much money I can make in a week or a couple of months. The time range is just too short to get good data. You need a quarter. Better yet, you need a year or two that you can go back, look at the data, and make determinations for your business going forward. But a lot of people have not been taught that. They've not been taught to groom the data. They haven't been taught how to market. They haven't been taught about creating a sales methodology. They haven't been talked about focusing on the customer. They haven't been, this is what we're going to be talking about in business classes. And this will be all part of B School for Hustlers. Because something else I'm going to do, and it's not going to take me terribly long, but I'm going to work on this week. Focus is key. But I'm going to do a course at Hustlers Kung Fu, how to start a service business. And go through all of that process and everything. Because one of the things I want you guys to understand is some of you may need to start a starter business before you get into your big boy business. That's what happened to me. My starter business was GC Solutions. And it taught me a lot of stuff about accounting. The LLC stuff was pretty simple and straightforward. And then when I got in the storage auction business, I had these business lessons that I was able to apply to the storage auction business. I will tell you, I'm one of the first people to standardize buying storage auctions. And this came from the business lessons, the business education that I had before I got in the storage auction business. Because they would tell me stuff and I was just like, okay, I would give you a part of the plan. Like, I knew that if I bought 15 to 20, 10 by 20s, I was going to do okay, regardless what was in there, because it was like I was dollar cost averaging. You know, like if I can get those 15 to 20, 10 by 20s um, at my price point, we would make money. And I had years of data to back me up. Because one of the things, and this is how they used to do traditional retail. Traditional retail, the stores were a certain size for a reason, because they needed X amount of retail space to make X amount of sales. And the internet has changed all of that. You can have a little hole in the wall store and it could be a like 4, 5, 6, 7, $10 million enterprise because you've got a bumping website. So the internet has changed all that. And this is what happened to a lot of old school businesses. They got caught flat-footed. And also the millennials. Millennials don't have any money. The millennials have changed the dog food industry. The millennials have changed many industries because they don't shop like their parents. Get the book Upshift. Let me make sure that I'm telling you right, because he talks about this stuff, and it is amazing. It is really amazing how he gets into it and the data points that he fleshes out. Let me see. Let me get to Amazon. Okay. It's in the books section. As a millennial, I don't shop. I buy what I went to the store for. I have a budget and shopping list before I go into the store. I don't have any spare money. That ain't a millennial issue. That's a most of America issue. Most of America's like that. Most of America shops like
Most
that.
of America.
Let's see. So we're going to get into a lot of business education. We're going to get into foundational stuff. Once again, if you're in B School for Hustlers, I want you to go through the money management prep course 2 or 3 times, because that's just going to mentally condition you for being much more successful with your business. One of the things I want you guys to understand, that doing that will set your business up for success. What's the number one reason that people go out of business? Lack of sales, lack of money, debt. Nope. No discipline. When you get people who start businesses in the first year, they do great, then they get comfortable. Nick Saban and Bill Belichick, they were talking about this. Once you've tasted success, it is very easy to lay back and coast. And he said one of the hardest parts about getting the players motivated for these games was to keep them hungry. And it's the same process that happens to, a lot of business owners. Seriously, once you get to $1 million or $2 million personal income, it's very hard to amp up to chase more. That's why you got to have a bigger agenda. Let's see. People keep telling me what I mentioned, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. Because essentially, for you to have a holding company and an operating company, you could be making $0. See, foundational stuff, how things are set up. One of the reasons that so many people build businesses that don't scale, these businesses were not set up to scale. Like, how many of you have seen this pumpkin mold that looks like a Frankenstein? These pumpkins look like baby Frankensteins, right? The pumpkin can easily grow to a bigger proportion, but since they clamp these molds onto the pumpkin plant, the pumpkin grows into the baby Frankenstein. But it could grow bigger. Many business owners put a mold around their business and it just can't really grow. And a lot of people do this unconsciously. They'll put in certain things, or like they won't hire anybody, and their business is only going to go to a certain level. And regardless of how many hours that they put in, it's not going to grow. It's not. Just ain't. So this is one of the things that, you get a lot of people who will do a Facebook ad, a Facebook group, or they'll do Facebook ads, and they won't deploy any personal discipline. Like, one of the things, let's say your name is Ed, and Ed, you started a business, and your first year you made $2 million. Question, Ed, how much of that money should you take out of the business? Do, 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 do. Well, I'm Ed. I'm gonna take out 1.5 million. Take out $1 million. Take out 500,000. Ed, you should only be taking out at the most $200,000, and you should leave the majority of that money in the business to grow the business. And this is where discipline comes in, because you're taking out 200K. That's good living, even in California. Because once again, we're going to go through the course on how to get the business to pay for your cell phone, how to get the business to pay for your car, how to get the business to pay for where you live. So 200K without car notes, without rent, without a mortgage. Let's see, 200K a month. Let's see. Let me divide that out. 200K divided by 12. $16,000 a month. So about $12,000 after taxes, which is $144,000 per year. That's what you should be living on if your business makes $2 million, because you should take that excess cash and throw it at the business and leave some money in the bank for rainy days, and your business will grow. It will grow like a weed. But this is one of the things, and I see it a lot with these internet hustlers. They'll take all of the money. My money. I'm going to Cabo. I'm going to Coachella. I'm flexing. I'm buying these $1,200 shoes and posting them on Instagram. I'm spending money like a crackhead. And then when the business hits a bump in the road and they're going to need some more money, they're like, all the money's been taken out of the business. Because one of the things you'll find out once you go through this course and get an understanding, that you'll always have money for business stuff. You'll always be in a situation where you'll have money for business development. Like right now, I got $12,000 in this account that's targeted for marketing. And I haven't even started the marketing. I'm going to run some test ads because I'm not running any ads right now because it's the holidays and ad rates are through the roof because everybody's advertising. I'm going to start marketing and, toward the after Christmas. I'm going to run some test ads after Christmas, and then I'm going to really invest heavily January. Because I don't want to pay more for the ad space than I have to. And a lot of people are going to crank it way down after Christmas. Because here's the thing, and this is something I learned on eBay. People still have money after Christmas. They're just not buying toys and Christmas gifts, but people still have money after Christmas. One of the biggest shopping days is the day after Christmas. And I'll be running specials and stuff for that because there's a group of people in America who are never broke. I want you to be one of those people. Always have money, regardless of what time of year it is. You can always buy what you want, get what you need for your business, for yourself. Because one of the things we're going to talk about is, foundational stuff. Because, someone to hear holding company, operating company, and without an explanation, that's just some fancy words. Well, what's a holding company? Why should I start a holding company? Why should I have an operating company? And one of the reasons that you want a holding company is it's an additional layer of protection between you and your assets. You own the holding company, then this operating company. I want you to think of the holding company as a general. Generals don't go to the front line. If they do, they're not really in harm's way. And the operating company as your infantryman. Your operating company goes to the front lines and does battle, takes all the hits, takes all of the risk. Where you're like, your holding company is like a general in the back lines chilling, eating steak and drinking wine. Because at the end of the day, it's about risk. And this is why you would never, ever put a vehicle in your holding company. That's one of the riskiest things you can do, and it invalidates the concept of having a holding company, which is to reduce and eliminate risk. A holding company does business with nobody. Holding company don't pay no bills. Operating company does all of that. So essentially what you're creating are 2 people or 3 people if you have 3 or 4 companies. I mean, we went through it. Amazon has God knows how many other LLCs. And there's one holding company. And everything else is coming off that holding company. And all of the money is going up to the holding company, but none of the risk. None of the risk. And once again, what are the risks of business? If you ain't making no money, you don't really have a lot of risk. But you start making some money, they will come for you. Christian Guzman, which is a fitness YouTuber and has a clothing line, he got sued because they knew Christian had money. People don't sue you when you don't have no money. And he got sued over something kind of silly. And I think they paid like $500,000 in legal fees. So, we're going to talk about that segregation of your assets, because I'm going to speak in plain language, how to set stuff up. And I'm going to take you from broke Dick Danny status to paid Percy status. Because let me go ahead and give you the power of a holding company, operating company structure. And this is what you'll get in the Hustlers LLC, which is at Disruptive Mail. I had a friend who listened to me. And he got with a Big Booty Betty. And he married Big Booty Betty. And I was just kind of like, this chick didn't seem legit. She was very pretty, and she was very vain, and she was an attention whore. And he comes to find out that she's cheating on him. Go figure. So he moves out, goes ahead and contacts a divorce attorney and serves her with papers. And she gets an attorney, and they were married like 18, 19 months. And her attorney was like, how are we going to split the marital assets? And dude said, there will be no division of marital assets. Check the prenup. Because see, I helped him craft the prenuptial. And, she signed it early. She had forgotten all about that prenup. And see, once again, sequence is so important on how you do this. And he divorced her, and it cost him about $70,000 versus costing him $5 or $6 million. Because that's what it would have cost him if he had went through a traditional divorce and he had not put this stuff into play early on. So we're going to talk about that. And for those of you who are in good marriages and you have a great partner, we're going to talk about how to integrate the family into the holding company. Because if you've got a good wife, you got great kids, all y'all can own the holding company. There's so many ways to do this. So this is what we're going to get into, because like I said, it's probably going to take me, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks to do this. Because just going in there and designating stuff. Oh, that was my boy, M. Sway. That was my boy. And for folks, my friends who listen to me, who actually take my advice, they come out smooth. And then I get folks who don't want to talk to me because I told them that was a bad idea and it turned out to be bad. And they like, I ain't going to talk to Glendon because all he going to do is rub it in my face. You damn Skippy. I told you don't do that, boy. But they went ahead and did it. Big booty Betty. She had him hypnotized. And, one of the things we're going to get into is a lot of business training. The stuff that you don't get from these other guys, because, right now, there's this troll on there who's posting, Grant Cardone, Dan Locke, and all this don't teach you anything. They just say you can buy my course. I'm a fan of Dan Locke, and I agree with a lot of his philosophies. I've never taken a Dan Locke course, so I don't really know. And I've never taken a Grant Cardone course. But I believe these dudes are legit. I really do. So we're going to talk about your mental state, because I'm going to run some ads titled, Before You Take Your Next Money-Making Online Course. Listen to this ad. Because there's a lot of courses out there that are good courses, but the people who are taking the courses are a bad fit. And this is one of the things, very few course creators will tell you this, like, with 30 days to 2,500. I had a dude who was making $20,000. He went through the course, he got up to 90,000. And I've had people take it and completely fail. So here, it's the same information. What's different? The people who take the course. Everyone that had some business savvy or a business already in place, when they took 30 days to 2,500, they hit it out the park. They did well. The folks who, because the hardest space in the business space is to go from nothing to something. Getting started is one of the hardest things you can do. Whose Life with Corey? I don't even know who this person is. Thank you, Jason. Just scrolling through this. Junie cracks me up. I don't have the spare change to mess it up right now. I hate it. Frankie Rodriguez. I nearly doubled my overall income listening to the free knowledge you dropped with a few sources of income. An overnight job and been a year running business. Thank you, Glendon. Congratulations, Frankie, for taking action. Because once again, like I can tell you, the free information on this channel will make you money and put you in a better financial position. This is why I have no problem charging what I charge. Because if you're paying attention, and I've had people who have taken the information from this channel, get more money, and buy products. Then I got some selfish people who like, man, I just want to make all this money so I can stun on Big Booty Betty. Forget you, Glendon. I don't care about you. I don't care if you gave me this information. I don't care, bruh. Don't care. So we're going to get into a lot of the foundational stuff. Because before you start a business, you need to be in the headspace to start a business. And no one ever talks about that. Junie, I'm totally on board. I decided to get Erica's planner. With that, I think my consistency will improve. Once that happens, I will probably buy your courses sometime next year. Super excited. Junie hit on something that's very important. And this is why I'm making money. Every day I come, thank you, Fry, for the $5 super chat, Frankie. Every day I come in here with an agenda. I have a plan and I begin working on it. And today, this week's plan is working on the LLC holding company stuff and getting that tightened up. And I may even create a funnel for it. Thank you, iBarber. So one of the things, because no one really devotes enough, thank you, Jeffrey, for the $2 super chat. No one devotes enough time to the pre-prep phase. Let's talk about Erica Williams. You can go to her YouTube channel and you can see her stages. She didn't get to where she got in 1 year. It didn't happen in 2. It took about 3 to 4 years of grinding. And it's on her channel. You know, when she used to have a job, then she got into a lending club, and she put some money over here. And it was a gradual progression. And this is the journey that many of you are going to have to take. This is why, I'm being very honest, it ain't going to happen in a year or 2, probably 3. If you're exceptional, if you buckle down and you are really tight, PC Nano, can you make an LLC when you're already on child support? Absolutely. That's covered in the new course over at Disruptive Male. Once again, let's just have this conversation. For you dudes who are on child support who want reduction, your mindset's got to be so different when you're going to start attacking this. Because this is the presumption. Bruh, shut up and pay your child support and don't create no drama. That's the expected position for you to take. That's the expected place for you to be. It's expected that you just shut up, pay your child support, respect your baby's mama. And once again, there's a whole different thing. What about being a father who's active and participating in your child's life? What about getting your kid 3 or 4 days out the week and raising them, waking them up, taking them to school? What about that? That's not an expectation. McCully, with the free knowledge you have given me, I've surpassed all my friends and family who already had established jobs in income in just 11 months, but this is happening off of your channel for 1 year. Thank you, McCully. I appreciate that. Once again, the free information is awesome. So imagine what the paid information will do. Because once again, I want you guys to win. And you can win. But part of winning is going, because after creating these courses, having people go through and getting feedback, foundational stuff is where I've got to focus most of my stuff on in defining expectations. This is why I keep saying 2 to 3 years. But those 2 to 3 years are never going to start unless you take action today. That's how it works. Junie, my friend encouraged her husband to take his ex-wife to court because she was refusing visitation. Now he has 50-50 custody. The judge told her last week she was going to jail if she refuses visitation. Once again, Junie's comment puts out how the average man will just suffer and will not fight because the expectation is, sucker, shut up, pay your child support, respect your baby's mama, don't cause no drama. And you go to court, I'm here to tell you, if you don't have any criminal record, you have no drug addiction, if you go ahead and fight her, 50-50 custody is almost assured. It's almost assured now because they've been so crazy. Thank you, Black Caesar, for the $5 super chat. Uncle G is the truth. I learned so much from his channel from a few courses. I'm not quite where I want to be yet, but I'm on my way in 2020. And, Black Caesar, this is the thing. It's a process. And you got to start taking action because, like I said, for me, it took me about 2 years after that boarding house to really, and I had jobs. I wasn't out here doing this business thing on my own like I'm doing. When you're a business owner, your income is 100% commission. Either you shake some trees and make it rain, or you eat nothing. That's just the way it is. Pedro. All right, then, Uncle G, let me ask you this again. Assuming the revenue's coming in, you want to protect it and the assets that go with it. Holding trust of both structure to be money tied up. That will be in the course. We're going to talk about it because money can be an asset, but cash flow should be invested. And we're going to talk about the chain of the sequence that you should take and where you are, because one of the things I'm thinking about doing is income levels. What to do at this income level. And I think that would be helpful. Because one of the big issues that's happening that so many people don't understand is these online courses, and I haven't taken them, so I'm not going to mention any names, are extensions of platforms. Like, there's a lot of people who took these Amazon FBA courses. The Amazing Selling Machine was a $5,000 to $10,000 course, and they made $70 million off of that course. And Amazon changed the rules. I don't know if that course is still selling like that, but what I'm going to teach you is how to enter business pure, platform free, how to go out here and compete in the free markets, because that's where you got to be. Because like YouTube, there's 138 of y'all people in here, right? This YouTube channel is compromised. There should be way more people in here. And this is dealing with this platform. And this is why I'm going to start creating funnels, and this is why I'm going to start doing advertising directly to my offerings, because this YouTube channel is compromised because YouTube decides who gets traffic and who doesn't. or I should say the algorithm. And I've seen the most stupidest things get 1 million hits. Some kid picking boogers out of her nose. 1 million hits. She's got 2 million subscribers. What the hell? So once again, you know, with the free markets where you're more in control, yeah, they made 70 million out of Barber. Yeah, one of the things with this channel is that I've got 92,000 subscribers and literally 200 get notifications when I go live. That's what I'm talking about, compromised. Because this is one of the reasons, you know, like before this live stream, I did a live stream on Disruptive Mail. I had 50, like 60 people on that live stream. That channel only has 2,000 subscribers. So I had half the you know, once again, it's compromised, but it is what it is. And you got to work with it. But we're going to get into a lot of foundational stuff. And I'm very excited because when I was putting together the course for Disruptive Mail, I know this is going to serve so many men. And I'm going to have to create a funnel to that. Barber, it's not about the knowledge. Thank you, Mr. G. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Appreciate your support. It's not about the knowledge. It's about the entertainment factor for YouTube. And, you know, business channels don't get like millions. You know, Gary Vee, I think he's got, how many, what does Gary Vee have? Because he is probably the most famous. Gary Vee has 2.4 million subscribers. And Gary goes hard. If Gary was a blonde girl with double D's saying the same exact thing he's saying, he'd have 10 million subscribers. Or maybe 15. So, I mean, that's just to show you the uphill battle you have doing the business channel. McGill Wood, 100%. Brolistic, thanks for the $5 super chat. And that there's a reason that you guys are here, and there's a reason that you guys are listening, and more importantly, taking action. The taking action part is what trips up so many people. Because, like with Disruptive Mail, and I tell dudes, if you're dating online, you're at a disadvantage as a male. Women control the online dating market. You would do better to go out and introduce yourself to women you find attractive in real life. Your dating life would get tremendously better. And that's free, but a lot of dudes like, I'm on Tinder, I'm on Bumble. I'm not gonna go over there and talk to her. That's scary. But your success rate will be substantially higher. Gentlemen's Club, can you speak on why middle-class parents don't share financial education with the kids so they don't repeat the cycle? I understand they're figuring it out but themselves, but they still need to help the kid. Well, they don't know. They're in the situation where they don't know what they don't know. This whole financial literacy is a new thing. Because, you know, once again, I urge everybody, if you're not going to take the whole B School for Curriculum course, get this course, the money management course. Because if you're making $50,000 a year, bringing home about $2,700, and you got a $500 or $600 car note, your rent's $1,200, you're hustling backwards. If you make less than $160,000, you should be driving a car that's paid off. because buying a brand new car will suck so much money out of your economic life. It's unreal. Black Caesar, I don't know. I don't know because I released a video at 6 this morning and it's done pretty well. So I may go back to the early morning release situation. I don't know because YouTube is very interesting, but it is what it is. And I don't control YouTube. I just participate on it. And even with my channel compromised, it still gets more views than 90% of the YouTube channels out there. 90% of the YouTube channels don't get 500,000 views. Don't get 500 views per video. What's up, Mentor Shelly? Thank you, Monarch 7. Agent J Pool, we will see, because like right now, I'm in training mode. Does an LLC work even if you owe? Let's go back to Omni and the Hellcat. The Internal Revenue Service can shut down your business for back taxes. However, if you're an average person, let's say you owe Uncle Sam $10,000 and you're on the payment plan, right? You can start an LLC, and that has nothing to do with you starting a business. I should have known about you when I was in Beaufort. You see, this is one of the things, like, you don't understand the power of an LLC. You can form a corporation and you can owe the Internal Revenue Service money. Those two things don't intersect. That will not prohibit you from starting a corporation or a holding company, because these are new entities, and until they start earning money, you don't owe anybody anything. Because we're going to get into Gentlemen's Driving Club. Yeah, because I'm pretty much getting ready to start some funnels and take some paid traffic to the funnel. Because, here's a business lesson if you're an online entrepreneur. You can have paid traffic go straight to an offer, but if it's an information product, you're better taking them through a funnel than just taking them to the offer, because they don't know you. And the funnel warms up cold traffic. So what I'm going to do, because, I still have my flip, because I'm getting rid of the heavy wallet, because I couldn't get the payment process to work. And if you notice, my mood is much better because I'm getting stuff done. Like today, I moved all that stuff over to Disruptive Mail, and it's done. What was really dragging down my spirit was I was trying to get all this stuff done, and it was like roadblock, delay, this would happen, going off the tracks. And that type of stuff was a problem for me. It was slow, it was messing up my mojo. And I just like, you know what? We're gonna do this. And it's been working out well. Disruptive Mail is underrated. I'm about to work on that. This is what I'm doing with Disruptive Mail. I'm moving the content, not all the videos, but many videos, over to the new channel. And once that's over, I'm going to start some new content. Gentlemen's Driving Club is a way to make cold traffic warm. Exactly right. With enough social proof in the funnel, turns it into hot traffic. Ty does basically all his courses in funnels. Yeah, because I'm going to do a funnel to B-School for Hustlers. What? The pedo black channels, what are those? Because we're going to be talking about real business processes. And like I said, tomorrow I'm going to sit down, plan out my day, get busy, and put this content When you say funnel, no, a funnel is like, all right, here's like a regular website. This is the problem with Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. Oh, fake pro black channels. Someone goes to Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, right? And they'll see all of these courses and they get confused. And it's like, what should I buy? Looks all good. I don't know. A funnel gets rid of that problem. A funnel creates a situation where they're going straight to one offer and they're looking at that. And that's it. And your conversions are going to be much greater because the funnel educates people on what's going on. And I'm going to do a funnel to B School for Hustlers and get that going. And like I said, I mean, I got months and months of work ahead of me because I've got awesome content that changes lives. I have awesome training that changes lives. And I've just done a piss poor job of presenting it, which is on me. And I'm just going to fix that because every day there's an agenda item. Like tomorrow, I'm going to be doing the LLC stuff and lining up training and webinars and getting into that because this is the last thing, man. This is the last way to change your social class. I mean, if you go to college and you graduate in the top 10%, they will come looking for you. They will come find you. But you don't graduate in that top 10%. You got to find them. Wiser than most. Junior, I really like your neighborhood video where you showed the houses and the cars. Showed my boyfriend. He was like, we'll be there in 5 years. I like the way that he thinks. Because see, that's the purpose of that video. I got a few haters and I'll just delete their comments and call them stupid and block them. Because, you know, this is where the Omni and the Hellcat, it's like this dude created a channel on stunning. That was 100% stunt channel. And he's admitted that his subscribers numbers have gone way down since this has happened and he can't go out and stunt. And this is why he got a Hellcat and supportingly his assistant bought him a Supra. I'm just sitting there like, your assistant gonna buy you a Supra on credit and pay the note? You ain't paid her? That's just suspect all day long. No, Barber, I haven't done a good job of putting together the Hustlers Kung Fu training platform. Like, I've taken all the lessons I learned from that and applied it to the B School for hustlers.com, and it's already, I can already see a difference. Mag, if we purchase the heavy wallet prep, where is it moving to? It ain't moving nowhere. I'm gonna leave that alone. That course will be there. You know, I haven't had a business partner since Francine. I love Francine. That was like family to me. And I don't think that situation's ever going to come around again. Because I've been, well, you know, I have my daughter as a business partner in this business. But once again, that's family. And, you know, it's set up for her to inherit it and skip probate and all these taxes. Stephen Elsie, should you wait till your divorce is over to start your holding company? Stephen Elsie, it depends on where you are with your divorce. If it's almost to conclusion, start your holding. Well, because until you get your dissolution of marriage papers, you're still married. So I would wait for those to happen because here's how law works. Let's say you meet Big Booty Betty, and Big Booty Betty looking real good to you. And you're like, Big Booty Betty, I want you to be my wife. What you're saying when you utter those words is, whatever I have, half is yours. She don't have to be on the paper. She don't have to do anything. She don't have to work in the business. because that's just how like marital assets work. So I would definitely wait until the divorce is over. Everybody getting divorced now. I got to stay in it. That's funny. Morning releases are good because people can see the info before starting work. You know, since this heart attack, I don't get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm in bed honestly until like 9:30, and I just stay up late because it's almost 9 o'clock right now, and I'm just starting to get rolling. And then I'm going to sit down here, write up what's going to happen tomorrow, and go for that agenda because there's so many things that I want to teach you guys that you need to know. Because once this B School for Hustlers is built, and once I create a funnel, because one of the things that I do that's very different from other people who create courses, I don't do launches. I want to sell like Hustlers Kung Fu. I got people paying tuition. Some people are on 2-year, 3-year payment plans. And that's how I like to do it, because a launch, you get a whole bunch of money real quick, but you get a lot of stress real quick. And you've got people out here freaking out because their lunch went bad. Or I know some stories of people who spent 300, 400, 500,000 in Facebook ads and made no additional money. They just got their money back, which really ain't a win. And I know people who have lost money. So once again, you know, you're going to be seeing some ads from me like, hey, before you take your next online money making course, check out this video. All right, Tracy. I was in a group where a guy expressed how grateful he was to have his wife supporting him in his business, and the comment it was like, wait till the divorce. See, that's why I go in on the red pill and the MGTOW men, because that was probably one of them. You know, yes, the divorce rate is high, but there's a lot of people who never get divorced. Wiser than most. When we realize all things in life are temporary, you don't stress that much. That's true. That's very, very true. Because we were going to get into a lot of the good content, the good training. Because I'm excited to work on this week, because like when I was having all these problems, when I was on the phone talking to all these people, I didn't feel like I was making progress, because I wasn't. And you know, now we're on a good foot. Engineering life skills, the Kickstarter life, 100K in a month, but you burn out 32 days after lunch. Imagine having 2K armchair quarterbacks. And this is why I'm not a fan of the lunch. I'm more a fan of the evergreen model, because I created 30 days to 2,500, and I sold that course consistently for 5 years. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at, because I have no need to make $3 million this month and spend, you know, $1 million or $2 million on ads. Because this is one of the things that people don't tell you. Because when they bring these folks up and they don't look at the cost of acquiring those profits. This is a lesson that I learned the hard way. When I started GC Solutions, the first year I sold used office furniture and did close to 250,000, which was pretty much all profit, because I was selling used furniture for another company. Then the next year I started selling new furniture from the same corporation. I made a huge error, like a $200,000 error, and I only ended up netting out of $1.5 million, $40,000. And ever since that experience, that's why when someone tells me this large number, I'm like, what was your net? What was your net income? I don't want to hear about your gross revenue what was your net income? And I would ask these Amazon seller people, and they get mad. They want to fight. They're like, how dare you ask me that? It doesn't matter. Oh, it's not that good. I don't know if Ty Lopez is burnt out. He's still doing stuff. But once again, he's made so much money. He's just chilling. Because, people were talking all this crap about Ty Lopez. Like, he spent $2 million on ads. He had $2 million to spend on ads. He's renting out that mansion for $15,000 a month. He's been renting out that mansion for 3-4 years. Dude had money before he started. Pretty much. I mean, Ty has made millions of dollars per month. So I'm quite sure he stacked it up in some real estate or something. But, once again, we're going to get into business principles. We're going to talk about certain things because it's going to be an intersection of how to sell online with some old school knowledge. Oh, Billie Jean is definitely on the come up. Ty Lopez has a crazy looking helicopter. I haven't seen any of his content. Yeah, Billie Jean has a nice thing going because this is what you see. They get with everybody. They're in everyone's videos, and it's kind of like at one point on television, you would see the same actors in several different commercials. It was like that was the actor. People like, but Ty rents his place while forgetting not everyone has $15K per month to even spend. 90% of America doesn't have, 95% of America doesn't have $15K a month to spend on rent. Crypto holding company, I would not, you could, in theory, you could do a holding company and create an operating company and control your crypto investments if you're a trader. But crypto is so volatile. Like, Bitcoin, that's funny you mentioned that. I looked it up. Bitcoin is just a hair over $7,000. Just a little hair, just a hair. So we got that going on with Bitcoin. And once again, here's my argument against Bitcoin. Let's say you broke Dick Danny, right? And you got $100 a month to spare. And you want to put it in Bitcoin. You would be better served to start a service business and make $2,000 per month than investing your $100 in the Bitcoin. And that's my argument there. So once again, we're getting ready to do this. Like I said, at some point, there's going to be how to start a service company. I'm going to do that. Yep, you can apply this holding company in Canada. Canada is a little different than America, but you could do this. Made $20K this year in crypto. Congratulations. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I will see you savages very, very soon. Have a good night. And below the B School for Hustlers, after I'm going to put all that stuff under this video after I am out of here. So with that, I'll see you guys later.